Woodson. This is the Balancing Act Radio Show, hosted by AJ Throwback, only on WinDCRadio.com, the WinDC Radio app, Facebook Live and YouTube Live on the WinDC Radio pages, and of course, it's all powered by GoWin.media.
Ladies and gentlemen, kings and queens, and everybody in between, welcome back. Bars is back, y'all. 2 week, I'm about to say 2 years. 2 week hiatus, and we are back, reloaded, ready to go, energized. I know y'all been waiting, you know what I'm saying? I know y'all been missing y'all official hump day motivation for the DMV and beyond, but we bike, ready to go. So, appreciate everybody who is tuned in. Online, on the WinDC Radio app, on Facebook Live, which we are currently live on, so I appreciate everybody who is watching via the live. I'm trying to make sure, I get all my people that's watching, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah, appreciate everybody who is tuned in all around the board. Got my special guest, my first of two special guests today already in the building. He was here before me. My man Vontae.
What's up?
Early.
On
time.
That's you know, black folk never on time.
Right, never
so
on time.
I had to be on time. To be.
Absolutely. So, we're going to be talking to Vontae today. Really excited to talk to him about his music, especially his hot single he's got out. Yes. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Can't wait to talk about that. Also in the 12 o'clock hour, as announced, we have DJ Anonymous of Sports Biz and Music Podcast. We'll be talking to him over the phone, calling in from Miami, Florida. So, you know what I'm saying? We got the DMV representing today, and we got Miami representing today. So, the DMV and beyond for real today, y'all. For real. So, I appreciate everybody who is tuned in. And we're going to go ahead and get right to some music before we get rolling with the interview. This is Tamara Bubble with Bend Over on the official Hump Day Motivation for the DMV and beyond. This is Bob.
I could be what I wanna be. Hoodie music. Yeah. I must admit, I'm sexy and my bills paid. The respect is due, yeah, I'm grown. So let's not be kids on our phone. Let's be direct like the positives. You watch your mouth and controlling my tone. When you in my face and we get in the zone, you push my buttons and pull up and we be alone. Yo, can we talk about it? I ain't a bird, ain't gon' squawk about it. You been geeked up, but a lame, I doubt it. And I've been a little freak, not just on Friday. Is that surprising? Clapping on this track with no hands and spitting on top of my little dance. I know you can hear it. Let that sizzle in your spirit. I'm flexible, I ain't a fool in love. And guess what? I did my stretches too, like yes sir. Have you saying yes Lord? Look at God, he been blessing you. We could be dripping, but you be tripping. Won't catch me slipping, you should be gripping me. I could back when I wanna be. I could back when I wanna be. I could bend over. I could bend over. Yeah, I could bend over. But I won't bend over backwards. I could bend over. I could bend down. I could bend over. I won't bend over backwards. I could bend over. I could bend down. I could bend over. I won't bend over backwards. I could bend over. I could bend down. I could bend over. I won't bend over backwards. Check to find me? Never. You lucky I let you sit by. Whatever. All these accomplishments. Look how I'm dripping in confidence. You thinking cockiness just ain't your brain? The bubble is perfect. I'm make you wait cause I'm worth it. The stress I'm gon' give plus the looks that I'm serving. I seen you look back so I know that it's working. And now I'm gon' wink so you know that I'm flirting. No, I ain't say nothing about twerking. I ain't say nothing about clapping on tracks with no hands on none of these verses. You know the beat could do that. If I ever bend over, you know it's a wrapped up a pen or a pencil. I'm picking up stacks cause the magic is all mental. But I ain't a doormat, yo. That's not what I'm into. I'm flexible. I ain't a fool in love. And guess what? I did my stretcher soul like a yes, sir. Happy saying yes, Lord. Look at God, he been blessing you. We could be tripping, but you be tripping. Won't catch me slipping. You should be gripping me. I acrobat when I wanna play. I acrobat when I wanna play. I could bend over. I could bend over. Yeah, I could bend over. But I won't bend over back. I could bend over. I could bend over. I could bend over. I won't bend over back.
With the game plan, and if you wanna give me hassle, I ain't staying, man. I keep it way more than 100. I'm a bang.
I need that KING energy that feel me on a spiritual level and don't make deals with the devil. See, first we gotta be compatible. Do we really match? When I close my eyes at night, can I trust you got my back? If life trying to tear me down, can you really build me up? Can we always feel fluid and never feel stuck? These the questions that I gotta ask, hoping you participate. Every standard that I said you bet I'm gonna reciprocate.
I need a man, one who's always holding down his castle with the game. And if you wanna give me hassle, I ain't staying, man. I keep it way more than 100. I'm a bang. I need a man, one who's always holding down his castle with the game plan. And if you wanna give me hassle, I ain't staying, man. I keep it way more than 100. I'm a bang.
Want a man that know what's at his table, cause he built it on his own. He could never doubt his worth, confident about his throne, to the point that only one queen would fit. So there's no need to ever entertain another shit. Love me unconditionally under one condition. We stay on the same page with the same mission. You make me your universe, you'll be my whole galaxy. Don't even waste my time if this isn't your mentality.
I need a man, one who's always holding down his castle with the game plan. And if you wanna give me hassle, I ain't staying, man. I keep it way more than 100. I'm a bang. I need a man, one who's always holding down his castle with the game plan. And if you wanna give me hassle, I ain't staying, man. I keep it way more than 100. I'm a bang.
Getting mad, feeling tired. Cause even when I knew the truth, you still lied. Telling me to think what I want, oh, you got pride. But you actually need to put that to the side. Don't lose your present guilt, reminiscing about the past. If you don't give your all, what you got won't last. Look at what's in front of you, that's what really matters. Don't let social media keep feeding you with chatter. Or the one you really want gon' be the one that gotta wait. I don't always speak my mind, but I have some time today. If you a real one, stand up, that's great. But I need a man, give me something to celebrate.
I need a man, one who's always holding down his castle with the game plan. And if you wanna give me hassle, I ain't staying, man. I keep it way more than 100. I'm a bang. I need a man, one who's always holding down his castle with the game plan. And if you wanna give me hassle, I ain't staying, man. I keep it way more than 100. I'm a bang. I need a man, I need a man, I need a man, I need a man,
Energy.
If you're an urban contemporary indie artist, then this is your platform. Send us clean versions of your music to balancingactradioshow@gmail.com. That's balancingactradioshow@gmail.com.
Class but never paid attention. Fresh paper, number 2 pencil. Busy writing rhymes, staring out the window. I can see myself on billboard pictures. Little kid, but with a lot of vision. Single home, one television. I will wash the dishes, tell my little sisters I'ma make it one day in the music business. Grew up listening to Salt and Pepper, Roxanne Shante, and a couple others. Whatever happened to women and substance? Nowadays, only a couple others. So I fill my cup up with plenty of it. Double up, they say it's all or nothing. I was born with nothing, did a lot of struggling. So before I go, I'ma accomplish something.
Yeah, let's get into it. Yeah, look, hey, you are now rocking with the best. Nigga, real loud, this is not a test. All I need is a little time, just a minute more, not a second less. All the mother went and took a rest, but these queens went and took it left. For these bars, you gon' need a rep, cause these bras are some lethal weapons. That's 9 on the beat. Got Roddy MC, Queen. We bomb when you know warning, so keep calm when you speak. Set it off with a bang, bang. We bout to murder the gang, gang. Whether you heard of me or not, I'm making sure niggas remember the name. So hot I flicker the flame. Coco, they say I'm sick in the brain. Me and you, we not the same. I'm in a whole nother lane. Yeah, say what you wanna, but you wanna pull me, I hit you. So with them things. That's when you know I ain't playing. Good the fuck is you saying? Now that's dope. Yeah, now that's dope, man. Yeah, now that's dope, man. Yeah, now that's dope. Yeah,
Don't I hate waiting? Ain't I impatient? You mistakenly thought I was a rookie. I'm Gary Payton. My career to stand still. Feel like I've been blanking. I'm just saying I ain't delirious. I don't take nothing too serious.
Oh, now we rapping. Trina got me on my Kenilworth. A hungry artist. I eat a rapper for dinner first. I watch my circles, the energy and the inner worth. This game is sinister. That's why I call the minister. Hello? Remember her? The one that gave you battle rapping fanny packs. Watch the win awards for my accord. I want my Grammy back. Hand me that. Give them what they want. It's 5 o'clock. Hit up nonchalant. Like this for the city, for the dreamers, for the have-nots, the underdogs with big paws. I'm the mascot. Don't worry about the destination or the last stop. Hey, you ain't know we been dope. Go play the last drop.
Yeah, now that's dope, man. Yeah, now that's dope, man. Yeah, now that's dope, man. Yeah, now that's dope, man.
Hey, yo. I wanna ask a few questions. Will there be more sessions of you dropping blessings or?
Killing me with these 21 questions. I will kill like 21 sessions. That will give you 21 blessings. That will teach you 21 lessons. That my lyrics always gon' have a higher percentage of some relevance. Yours narcoleptic, lazy, lack intelligence. No hate though, really wanna connect you dum-dum just like you Legos. In the meantime, kill so many more micro pesos. Cause hypothetical privileges got me all on my biblical. Nonchalant, you so lyrical. That is why we be feeling you. Flatline, nah, where the hell you been? Hate that line. Check 1, 2 on the mic, hit flames on the food, then making me that line. Flatline, another dead mic and I wake up the nonchalant. I did at my hiatus, so you listening to the greatest, baby. Yeah, now that's dope, man. 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 I'm so, 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 I'm so.
If somebody tell you he hot, man, you know everybody hot now, man. He fish grease.
That's how we feel about this track right here. This is the Fish Grease Pick of the Week, only on bars, on WinDCRadio.com and the WinDC Radio app, powered by GoWin.media.
Wake me up from this dream. Wake me up from this dream. Wake me up from this dream. Yeah. Wake me up from this dream. 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 It's sounding like a nightmare. Wake me up from this dream. Wake me up from this dream. Wake me up from this dream. It's sounding like a nightmare. Wake me up from this dream. Wake me up from this dream. Wake me up from this dream. It's sounding
they stitching my jeans every day that I wake up. A new cross that I pick up. This hard drive, keep a backup. Made me wanna go ahead and pack up. My God, this morning, got the call to my cuss lane. 19, 4 babies, they keep killing, that's hella lame. That's hella lame. Now I'm sitting in church, mentally drained, death over death, need a story to change.
Wake me up from this dream, wake me up from this dream, wake me up from this dream, it's sounding like a nightmare. Wake me up from this dream, wake me up from this dream, wake me up from this dream, it's sounding like a nightmare. Wake me up from this dream, wake me up from this dream, wake me up from this dream, it's sounding like a nightmare. Wake me up from this dream, wake me up from this dream, wake me up from this dream, it's sounding like a nightmare.
Wifey said that I'm drinking more than I need to be. Never drunk, but these late nights and it's numbing me. So much death in my view. I don't know where to start. I just take it all in, but really tear me apart. Vince, Damani, Marshawn, Poppy, Terry, Harry, Juicy, and my daddy. My God, should I let my guard down? Love the ones I could lose. Or keep up my highs, man. Save my soul from abuse.
Wake me up from this dream. Wake me up from this dream. Wake me up from this dream. It's sounding like a nightmare. Wake me up from this dream. Wake me up from this dream. Wake me up from this dream. It's sounding like a nightmare.
I'm trying to get free, can I go? It's haunting me deep in my soul. I'm trying to get free, can I go? It's haunting me deep in my soul. I'm trying to get free, can I go? It's haunting me deep in my soul. I'm trying to get free, can I go? It's haunting me deep in my soul.
Wake me up from this dream. Wake me up from this dream. Wake me up from this dream. It sounded like a nightmare. Wake me up from this dream. Wake me up from this dream. Wake me up from this dream. It sounded like a nightmare.
Wake me up from this dream. Wake me up from this dream. Wake me up from this dream. Wake me up from this dream.
Welcome back to the Balancing Act Radio Show, hosted by AJ Throwback, only on WinDCRadio.com and the WinDC Radio app, powered by GoWin.media.
Yeah, that was our Fish Grease Pick of the Week, C.W. Allen, from his brand new project, The Dream Baby 2. That was Bad Dreams. Shout out to my man and family, C.W. Allen. Before that, we had legendary Nonchalant, featuring Kenilworth Katrina and Riley MC with Ratrina Nan. Mike Queen featuring Diamond Stone with Twin Flame. And starting off the set, we had Tamara Bubble with Bend Over. Shout out to everybody who is watching on Facebook Live. I got to shout out to Mrs. Of course, I appreciate you, baby. You know what I'm saying? Checking in between clinicals. You know what I'm saying? Appreciate you. Shout out my main man, Narcissist, tuning in from Carolina. You know what I'm saying? By way of Buffalo. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to you, brother. Shout out to Neen. Let's be clear, Neen and Becky. You know what I'm saying? The ladies were supposed to be on last night. You know what I'm saying? Missed them, but you know the fellas stumbling over my words. Mike's Corner, they held it down for him last night. Had a great show. You know what I'm saying? Make sure y'all tune in to Let's Be Clear and Mike's Corner. They come on alternating Tuesdays, 6 to 8 p.m. right here on WinDCRadio.com and the WinDC Radio app, of course, all powered by GoWin.media. Shout out to Lali from Foreplay the Orgasm Show. They come on right after Let's Be Clear, Mike's Corner, every Tuesday, 8 to 10 p.m. WinDCRadio.com. Best slow jam show on the planet. Put them up against anybody, and I'll tell you, they are going to clean a clock. I'm trying to tell you. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're not going to get a better combination of adult conversation and slow jams. You know what I'm saying? They bring it every single week. Shout out my main man, BJ. BJ, I see you, brother. And, yeah, of course, you know I got you, Nene. You know we got to plug you. You know what I'm saying? My main man, DJ Anonymous, is checked in. So, you know what I'm saying? He's on the live. So, appreciate you tuning in. We'll be talking to him in about 39 minutes. So, y'all make sure y'all stay tuned. But for now, we're going to go ahead and get into this right here.
Whether they're artists, athletes, entrepreneurs, politicians, activists, or simply folks you need to know, we've got the line to the movers and shakers of D.C., Maryland, Virginia, and beyond. This is 15 minutes of game on the Balancing Act Radio Show.
I'm awesome, man. How you doing?
That's good. I'm doing great. Doing great.
Blessed to be here.
Yes, absolutely blessed to be here. You know
yes.
what I'm saying? I appreciate you. Appreciate you being on time.
Yes, yes. I'm working on that. People who watching, they probably like, he ain't on time. He wasn't on time. Yeah, they know.
yeah. You know what I'm saying? But you know, it's funny. I say that, but I don't think I've ever had a problem since I've had this platform. I don't think I've ever had a problem with anybody being late.
People being late.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? It's usually like people trying to navigate their way around the mall, like we were talking about earlier.
Right.
It's a tricky part of the mall that we're in. So, you know, a lot of times people get lost. But
like, where is it at?
Right, exactly. So, I mean, outside of that, you know, nobody's ever been late.
Right.
You know, not for this show.
That's a good thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, that means people take it serious.
Right.
You know, so.
I take it serious.
Yeah, you definitely take it serious. Let me tell y'all, he was here before me. You know what I'm saying?
On time. You were still on time though.
Yeah.
We both got on time.
Exactly. So I wanted to kind of start this off talking about the importance of like being bold. You know, like being bold in your craft, being bold in what you do. Because and I'm drawing that from, I mean, of course, like you're a hip hop artist, but also like you sing as well. But the thing is, like I was reading like a description you had on your YouTube page, and it said like you have metaphoric punchlines that could go round for round with Muhammad Ali in his prime. And then it was a tweet, and I'm sure you remember it. It was one Mo Better, legendary MC, from DC. He had put up a tweet that said, "Who in the DMV raps lyrically?" And you know, like he. You answered to it, and he was like, "Prove it." Right. And like you shared Contagious with him. You know what I'm saying? And like talk about like that boldness of being confident in what you do. When people kind of sort of put that out there, like stepping up to the challenge, like the importance of being ready for like those types of challenges like that.
It's very important because first of all, I honestly feel like you can't try to get anyone to be your fan if you not your own fan. So you know you gotta have confidence. I used to be very like shy and very like, I'm gonna sit this one out. I'm just gonna let them go do it. But then as I got older, it's kind of like if you don't go for what you want, if you're not standing out there, if you don't make people see that you really really want it, it's like you're not gonna get it.
Right.
People want to see that you're hungry. They want to see that you're doing something different from everybody else. So I always gotta be that way. Always. Always. It's very important.
That's good. That's good because I mean a lot of times, you know, people talk about, particularly in hip hop, because a lot of people will say if you don't feel like you're the best, then it's like, why are you rapping?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I don't necessarily subscribe all the way to that, but I understand the mentality. Right. You know what I'm saying? But you do have to say to yourself like, look, I'm top notch. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I don't know. I think my ego is a little more subtle than that because I don't look at it from that. It's not that I can't say that, but I honestly just see it as I want to be the type of person where I look at myself like years from now and say, yeah, I grew from that.
Yeah.
So I just always want to constantly be progressing in my life, in my craft, and like in everything.
Yeah.
If you stagnant, it's just watch out and just move out of the way and let somebody else come through.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go. Like, you gotta keep it moving. So one of the speaking, as I kind of teed it up a little bit, one of the things that I appreciate about like listening to your music is your versatility, and you know that's something that's important for artists to have because you know like you can switch from rapping to singing. Your subject matter, like you're not handcuffed by like limited subject matter like a lot of artists are, and like you do music to like a different array of beats. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not just what is popular now. It's a little bit of like classic stuff as well. So talk about how important that is to you to stay versatile.
I think being versatile is very important, like especially with like trends and stuff, because 1 minute a trend could be super hot and then the next day it's like over. And if you can't fit in with the crowd but also have your own different style or different thing that you do, you're not gonna last that long, because you're gonna last just as long as the trend. I look up to J. Cole, and in the song 1985, but he was dissing Young Pump. He was talking about, you know, you need to pay for this, like basically saying like important things that you need to do with your money.
Right.
You know, like buy your mama a house, buy your own self a house, so that way you make sure you stable. Like when your trend is when you know,
exactly.
he feel like, you know, he's riding a trend, and you know, make sure that you straight, so that way when that trend is over, you good.
Exactly.
So yeah, if you riding a trend, I mean, it is what it is. A lot of artists, they have like different takes on what they want to be as an artist, and you can't just put that on everybody. Not everybody wants to be lyrical. Not everybody wants to be a rapper. Some people just want to just do it because they like it and they're good, and people look at it and they like it.
Right.
So
yeah.
it is what it is.
Yeah. But that's good that, you know, you leave yourself open to the point where you don't limit yourself in that way. Because I mean, there's nothing worse than seeing somebody whose time is clearly past and
still trying to do the same thing.
Still trying to do the same exact thing that they was doing, you know, 10 years ago. In the sense that, like, they don't try to like do different things. You know what I'm saying? Or like they just look at certain things like, oh, I don't want to do that.
Yeah, I ain't doing that. I ain't trying to fit in.
Right.
Yeah.
And to me, there's nothing wrong with saying, you know, I want to be different. But there's a difference between being different, and how do I try? You gotta know your lane.
Right.
At the end of the day, I feel like you have to know your lane as an artist. There's certain people that don't need to rap over certain beats. You know what I'm saying? But there's other people that you can hear them. You can hear that ability to be able to kind of sort of weave in and out of different like styles. Right. You know, and to me that's important to be able to do. Not everybody can do it, but if you can do it, it's like, hey, why not?
Yeah, and then going back to I don't know, I reference J. Cole so much,
it's
but
all good.
but going back to him, like he talks about that a lot, like being like this trendy like rapper, like doing the mumble rapping. So I feel like he's being smart about it though, because he's featuring on these artists' songs. So it's not really his song, but he's featuring on the song. Right. So, you know, he's kind of riding the trend wave, but it's not really his song. It's not, you know. So that's another way that you can look at it if you don't really want to do that. You can always, like, find an artist that's popping, that's doing that, and say, hey, what's up? Let's collaborate. Let's do that. Right. And then,
And it's funny that you mentioned J. Cole and his ability to do that, because it's like, you'll hear J. Cole on, you know, a lot with 21 Savage, but then you'll hear him on a song with Royce the 5'9", and like kill both songs. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like
very versatile.
Right. Exactly. Versatile, and they're two different types of vibes. Right. But it's important to be that type of artist.
It is.
You know, like to be a true artist. You know.
And also another thing is I also want to be able to like write songs for other people eventually. So when I'm tired of writing or I'm done, I'm like, I don't feel like doing this. You know, I can write a song and then say, hey, look, I can get this to you. So I can write this for you and I can write this for me, and, you know, still be in the game, but I'm behind the scenes. A lot of rappers are still in the game, but they just behind the scenes. You don't know that they producing and writing for other people. So yeah, it's cool.
Yeah, you gotta, in this game, you gotta have more than one hustle.
You do.
You know what I'm saying? It's like they always talk about multiple streams of income. Like in the hip hop game and the music game, you gotta have multiple streams of hustle.
Because these labels, they out to get money. Right. Because money is hard to get in the music world. You gotta be like an actor. You gotta do like endorsements. Like the music isn't really selling. No, it's like that.
Not like it was.
And even the streams, you can have like 1 million streams and only make like $2,000. Right. Or like $5,000, which is not. It's nothing. By the time you paying for this and you paying for this, you're not gonna have anything.
Exactly.
So you gotta be able to, what's the word? You gotta be able to be, you know,
diversify your portfolio.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to do.
Absolutely, and that's good, because I mean it's definitely showing up in your work.
Thank you. I'm trying.
Yeah. So talk about concepts, the importance of like being able to execute a concept, because I listened to your EP Young Man Ambition, and it's funny because if people heard Contagious and then heard Young Man Ambition, they probably would think like they wouldn't realize one came before the other. Right. But like I feel like Young Man Ambition is like, it lives up to the name of the album. Like if you listen to the subject matter, all the stuff that you're talking about, it's like if you're expecting like these super duper deep songs
Right.
or whatever, you're not gonna
Yeah.
get that. And it's no knock.
Right.
But to me, it's like you look at the name, and it's like it's everything that I would expect from a EP called
Right.
Young Man Ambition. But talk about the importance of like being able to like have a concept in mind and execute that concept in terms of, because you know a lot of times people will title things,
Right.
you know, title albums, but it's like, okay, is this a concept
It don't
album? Like
live
what
up to
direction?
it.
Right, exactly. You know what I'm
Right. I just try to write music like based on how I feel. Sometimes it may not be exactly what I'm going through, but I might be able to not really relate, but I might like watch a movie and feel some sort of way about that character being in that situation, or I might watch or listen to like T.I. and I feel extra cocky today. Let me write a real cocky song.
Yeah.
So around that time when I wrote when I made that EP Young Man Ambition, I was listening to like a lot of T.I., a lot of like artists where they was like talking they stuff, like 50, T.I., like all those like where they just brag about their money and you know stuff like that. And I was like, you know, I want that one day, like the money, the cars, and like stuff. But then you know I got older, and then life just, you know, it's just life. So you go through stuff, and I feel like you got to talk about that as well. So that's where I'm at now. Can't say that I won't go back to it, but right now I feel like I'm really focused on like having a voice other than that, because you know the hip hop game. I mean, Jay-Z is what, like 47, 49. He about to be 50. Yeah, so I mean, you can't say it's short lived, but like bragging about money, cars, like even if you listen to his stuff, like from back then to like Magna Carta, like it's very different. Very different. He's talking like, you know, about like chandeliers and stuff. Back then he wasn't talking about no chandeliers. Jay-Z was talking about guns and drugs and stuff like that, but now he's talking about like stuff that he's going through now. So you got to be able to grow as an artist.
And the thing is, like, you know, thinking about somebody like Jay-Z, like the thing is, it was always there with him, and I think that's the thing that a lot of people get confused about him, is that he always infused some sort of like social commentary
Message.
into talking about the streets. It wasn't like just glorifying it for the sake of glorifying it. Now, certain things, you know what I'm saying? Like even as me as one of the biggest Jay-Z fans, like it was certain stuff that was problematic for me. But it's a matter of like, it's a matter of growth. Like you saw the growth. You saw he went from being like a hustler, like strictly a hustler and talking about the street life, to kind of sort of taking that mentality and applying it to the business world. You know what I'm saying? Being a businessman. And that's important, like to be able to show that growth as an artist. And I mean, even because Young Man Ambition, you put that on 2017?
17,
yeah. So that's only 2 years.
Yeah.
But in them 2 years, you've already shown growth. You know what I'm saying? And that's important. I think every artist, from project to project, from song to song, they should show that like that incline. You know,
'cause there's a moment with each album. Right. Yeah, definitely.
Absolutely. So speaking of growth, let's get into Contagious. You know what I'm saying? We can dissect this one.
Yes.
Like, for real.
We can.
So, what made you decide to tweet a snippet of it to J. Cole?
So he tweeted. So I have notifications on my phone, and he tweeted something.
Okay.
And I was like, let me just slide this on, you know, under this tweet, and try to. Because I know usually it's like this. It's like people just, you see the likes and the retweets going quick. So I was like, let me slide this in here. Not because I usually do that, because some people they get annoyed when you do that on their timeline. So they end up like deleting you, like blocking you, unfollowing you. So I just put it on there. And it related to what he was talking about, which was, I think, important, because it wasn't something about like twerking and just random money and stuff. So he tweeted something about racism. I just slid that in there, and then after that, it was like viral. For like weeks.
Because that's the thing I noticed, like just like looking at your Twitter page, and like just seeing all the videos of people like responding to it and reacting to it. It's like, wow, like this thing really took off.
Yeah, it did.
Got legs.
Crazy. You know? Like I'll just go online and just put Vontae Contagious in, and then like I'll see something. Somebody will tag me in something. Somebody will send me something on Facebook. It's just it's still going too.
Yeah, I saw.
Still
I'm
going.
like, that's crazy, man. Like, I mean, you just never know when that moment, like,
Right.
It's about striking when the iron is hot. Like,
Yeah.
you striking at that moment, and
Right.
then just seeing like the responses you receive. Like, how does that feel? You know what I'm saying?
It's,
Like,
it's powerful.
Yeah.
It is powerful because you influence other people, and you know sometimes you don't understand why a group of people is doing something or why a certain person is doing something, and then when you say something and you get a response from it, it's like, oh, okay, I understand a little better now. I had a lot of people inboxing me about, you know, their family and going through stuff like that. It's tough to even think about that still going on. Like if you watch my previous video, Black Man, I don't know if you got a chance to see that.
I didn't
So if you look at that, like in the video, I have two clips, like from like way back when racism like really started, and then now. If I took those dates away, you probably be like, well, what is
that's powerful.
Right. So I put the date, and then I put the date like now and back then, and it doesn't look different at all.
Wow. And that's
at all.
Wow, that's powerful, and it's very poignant. You know what I'm saying? In the sense that it's like we think that a lot has changed, but how much really has changed?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like because the element is still there.
It is.
And a lot of people, like, I remember kind of when Obama was president, and they talked about a post-racial society.
Right.
And I'm like, that's never going to happen in America, because the thing is, it's one of those things. They always say, like, once energy is created, it can't be destroyed. And unfortunately, it's the same with negative energy. You know what I'm saying? Once racism was created, the energy is always going to be there. Somebody's always going to pass it down to their child,
and somebody's going to feel some type of way, and then they're going to say something that's going to spark it back up.
Right.
So it's like it goes up and it goes down.
Yeah. You know what I mean?
Hopefully it stays down, because I ain't got time. It's too much. It's too much.
You know, I mean, and the hope is, like, with a song like Contagious, that you, even if it's just one person that may have grown up a certain way, grown up believing certain things about certain groups of people, you know, erroneously, and they hear a song like Contagious, and they're like, man, I've been looking at this all wrong. Like, you've done your job.
Right.
You know, and I mean, that's the importance of a song like Contagious. You know, speaking truth to power.
Well, hopefully people get the right message, because
there's
a lot of people who, for some reason, they think that I'm racist. But if you I guess they only listen to like the first couple of bars, because I guess if you listen to that, you kind of like, well, what? And then you look at the cover art, you see the picture, and you think that's me. But that's not me. I'm black.
Right. I mean, it's a way to, like, really draw people in. That's smart. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, it's going to be one of those controversial songs regardless.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Just because of the subject matter. Because people in America don't, especially white people, don't want to talk about racism.
They don't.
You know what I'm saying? They don't want to talk about it.
But I think as I'm promoting this song, like, I think a lot of people thought that I was just only going to go to, like, black radio stations and talk to black people in the black media. But I made it a point to reach out to, like, different white, like, radio stations, magazines, because it's not even about, well, it is about, but it's not really about, like, black versus white. Honestly, it's about seeing, like, your own faults, and then just, like, saying, hey, let's just get along.
Right.
Like, just stop all the, like, the old stuff from back in the day. Like, it's okay to stop it. You don't have to continue it. You can stop it.
Right.
So hopefully Contagious opens some eyes, instead of, you know, just making people mad and them going off on me. Because I do get those comments a lot.
I'm sure.
A lot.
Yeah. I mean, the thing is, like, if you make a song like Contagious and you don't get some kind of backlash, then you're not doing enough.
Yeah, I didn't do my job.
Exactly.
I didn't. Yeah. so I gotta do it. Yeah. So I'm super focused on this song. Like, I don't even think I put this much energy into a song, because I've seen the response. So now it's not even really about me.
Right.
Like, the song, I feel like it's bigger than me, bigger than the artist. You know how they say, like, the song can become bigger than the artist.
Yeah.
So the song, I feel like it's touching people so much that it's just going on its own.
Yeah. Now, I wanted to mention a comment that somebody mentioned in one of their responses.
Oh Lord.
Where they no, it was a good one.
Okay.
It was a good one.
Okay.
Where they said you're like a cross between J. Cole and Nipsey Hussle.
Oh yeah, I did hear that girl say that. Yeah.
How did that make you feel? Like being compared to like one of your favorite artists, and then being compared to somebody who's, even though I feel like he's been more celebrated in his death than he was in his life, but somebody that a lot of people, even in his life, including myself, respect.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
at first I was like, like, huh?
Yeah.
But I think as I did my research on them, like separately, even like beyond like the artists and the music, like as people, what they stood for, that was powerful. I was like, whoa, so that's what they mean. So I don't think she really meant like, she probably did mean like the sound, whatever, but I think she really was more so talking about like the message and where I was going with the song and how, you know, it's affecting people. So it's deep.
Yeah,
it's
that
deep.
is.
It's
That
deep.
is. Yeah.
Because I didn't even know all the things that Nipsey did until I went back and like researched how he made the park and everything. He raised money and he was building up his neighborhood, and he had like all the stuff that he did was a lot, but it wasn't celebrated unfortunately until he died.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Which is sad.
Yeah, no, that's why you got to give people roses while they're here.
Right.
So,
right.
But you got your roses.
Yes. I'm trying to do it. I'm trying to, you know, inspire some people, and then some other artists, like they'll hit me up and they'll say, you inspired me to not make music like this and do like more like stuff that people can really relate to, instead of just putting out the same thing, which is powerful.
That is
because I made that was I think after I made Young Man Ambition and I started going through stuff, I was like, I gotta do something like a little bit more deeper, because music touches people.
Yeah.
And when you touch people and you cause people to feel a certain way, it makes them react.
Yeah.
Whether you piss them off, that's gonna make them react. You make them sad. Like if you see a video online, viral video, you might see something that's funny. Be like, oh shoot, let me share this. Anything that makes you feel a certain way, if it's just boring, you probably ain't gonna share it.
Right.
But if it's something good, you're gonna share it. You're gonna share it with somebody, and then somebody gonna share it, and hopefully it gets to the right person. So that's what I'm trying to do right now.
Yeah.
Trying to keep this thing going.
Yeah. Ride the wave, man. This is a wave to be on.
Right. It is.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah. So let's break down some of the lyrics. You know what I'm saying? So you said in one part, and every black man ain't carrying a gun, and every black man ain't ran from his son, and every black man want to speak up for his rights, and every black man has a right to live his life. So it's funny, when I was reading that, it kind of made me think like, yo, this is like a black man's declaration of independence.
It is. Like I honestly feel like this song is like, it needs to be like an anthem somewhere.
Yeah.
In a movie, like a big movie, like in a big commercial, like something powerful, like for, I don't know, like Martin Luther King's birthday, or like for just Black History Month, or like for something like powerful.
Yeah, like it's funny that you say that, because I DVR'd it, but I've been catching up with Finding Justice that was on BET, and I'm like, man, this song would have been perfect for. I think it was. I want to say it was the 5th episode that was focused on police brutality in Minnesota.
Okay. I gotta check this out. Where is this?
It's on BET.
BET?
It should be on demand. But yeah, they had a 6-part series, like talking about different ways of finding justice. Like they talked about police brutality. They talked about the criminalization of kids. They talked about the Flint water crisis. But just like, I think deeper than Flint, because I want to say they focus more on Baltimore. But like, you know, like just a lot of different issues, the right to vote.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to check that out.
Yeah, it's a really good series. You know what I'm saying? But like Contagious would have been perfect for the last episode that I just watched.
Let me call BET. Hey BET,
hit them up, man. Hey, you got the wave, man.
Yeah,
you know
like I'm telling you, I gotta keep it going.
Yeah.
Like I said, it's beyond me at this point.
Right.
Like I just gotta keep pushing it and just get it into the right hands.
It's gonna get there, man. Like I'm telling you, it's going to get there.
I'm trying. I'm trying. I honestly feel like I'm not gonna stop until I get it there.
Yeah.
I can't. I have a job at this point. I have a job to do.
Right.
And it's like, you know, Martin Luther King fought for so much, Malcolm X fought for so much, and you know, to compare, I can't compare myself to them because they went through it when it was like super crazy.
Yeah.
But I still feel like my generation, looking back at them and what they fought for and what they like, the path that they created for us, I feel like they gave us a voice as well to be able to speak and to like talk about issues like this. So
yeah,
I gotta like be next.
Yeah.
To like stand up for certain things. You can't just let stuff happen and just not speak.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
You use your art.
Right.
You know, use your art to motivate people, to uplift people, and,
right.
and speak on issues that need to be spoken on.
Right. Definitely. Yeah. It's time. It's 2019. It's time.
Absolutely.
Then I'm running for president.
Hey, I'm here for it. I'm
2020. What's this year? 2019.
2020.
Yeah. Let me make history. 2020.
So another really interesting piece of Contagious that jumped out to me. You said, "F 40 acres and a mule. I'd rather die with respect. I'm sick of brothers dying and mamas carrying around all this stress." It's funny that you said that line because like I'm sure you heard like a lot of talk about like reparations lately.
Right.
And I wanted to ask you like if you felt like that really even matters at this stage of like, you know, what black people are doing, or is it more important for us to just kind of live in peace and create our own lanes to thrive and just pretty much be left alone? You know, it's not to say, you know, like we just completely and totally separate from society, but just like, okay, let us do us instead of, you know, getting in our way, trying to, you know, anytime we try to have a Tulsa mindset, so to say, like y'all try to come and burn it down, bomb it, burn it down, you know what I'm saying? Like, is it more important for us to just have our own, you know, have our own peace, our own land, our own whatever, you know, our own identity, just have all of that back, than, you know, being paid back for, you know, what was done to us during slavery?
Right. Someone mentioned to me that they didn't agree with that line. It was a black person. They said they don't agree with it. They was like, I want my 40 acres in the middle. But I guess what in today's world would like equal that? Because I don't want no mule.
I mean, and that's a good
But
good
back
point,
in the
though.
day, you probably would have been beneficial. But now, you know, we driving Benzes. But I feel like that's like materialistic stuff at this point. It's kind of like they already taken certain things from us.
Yeah.
So why would I want something from you that you could potentially take away from me again? And then also, you know, even when I said respect, like I said, I want respect. That's like the bare minimum, because you know you're not gonna get respect. You're not gonna get all of it.
No.
You might get, like, you walk in somewhere, they might not say nothing to you. I mean, I'll take that over you calling me the N-word.
Right.
Or you closing the door in my face, or you saying, don't come in here. I'd rather for you to just let me be. Let me think that you cool with me. Let me think that you not bothered at the fact that I'm in your breathing space. You know, so with that, I don't know, with that line, like, it can go both ways.
Yeah.
But I feel like I don't want something that should have been already given to the people before me. Because at this point, that 40 acres and a mule is not really mine. It's the people back then who suffered, who died, like the people who lost lives and lost families. Some people, like, it's a lot. So I don't feel like that's owed to me personally. That's just how I feel. I feel like that's like old.
Yeah. Like,
you should have gave that to the people like back then who really, really, really like needed that 40 acres and a mule.
Right. You know.
So at this point, just give me like the bare minimum respect of like, yeah, give me my freedom. Yeah. That's all I can ask for at this point.
Yeah. And I think that line is powerful because I think at this point that's what really a lot of black people like. All we want, we just want to be respected.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You ain't gotta like us.
Right.
But just respect us.
Right.
Respect us enough that if we're doing what we're doing, leave us be.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, don't try to come over here, destroy it, be culture vultures, you know what I'm saying? Cultural appropriators, all of that. Or just completely destroy it and then try to take it for your own.
Right.
It's like, nah,
don't do that.
Right, exactly. Like, just leave us alone.
Right.
Let us be. We can live peaceably among each other. We ain't got to be best friends, but just live in peace.
Right. And I mean, that's why I wrote the song. It's like, does it feel to be a racist?
Right.
It's just crazy. I don't know. I don't understand. I don't think I'll ever understand.
Yeah.
Like, my mind is so far from that, I just don't even understand how.
Like, just sometimes I think about it myself, like, wow, like, frankly, watching a special like Finding Justice and thinking about all the things, the insidious things that, you know, certain people in society have done to black people.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's just like, wow, like, why? You know,
Right.
like, why us?
Right.
You know, like, what's your beef with us?
Right.
You like so hard. You know what I'm saying? Like, and why y'all keeping it going?
I don't understand.
Yeah.
I don't. And then it's the sad part is that you have like the little kids.
Right.
You're not born to be racist. That stuff is taught.
Yeah.
Or you've seen it somewhere. You know, we're born not knowing anything.
Right. Right.
Like, we don't even know why we crying. We just crying because that's just what, you know, babies do. But we don't know why we're crying. It's just like, figure it out and fix it and let me stop crying. So we don't know anything. Everything that we know like everything that I know personally now is based on what I was taught or what I saw. And I made judgments based on me being an adult of whether I was going to do this or do that.
Yeah.
So racism is taught, in my opinion. You're not born to be a racist.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. It's a learned behavior.
It is.
Yeah. So let everybody know like what you got coming up, like on top of you know, like singles that you have out, because you have Contagious out, but you also put out Problems. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got a couple of singles in rotation right now. So let everybody know, like, can we expect an album from you soon?
Yes. So right now I'm super focused on Contagious, but I do want to put out like an EP first.
Okay.
So I'm thinking maybe next year album, but this year like an EP, maybe like 5 songs.
Okay. That
way I can start like planning a tour. I want to start doing like a touring, at least on like the East Coast. Yeah, so I want to start doing some touring, and then I have a performance coming up on the 26th in DC at Smith Public Trust.
Okay.
So I will be performing. I haven't really decided what I'm going to perform. I said I wanted to do Problems, because I did Contagious like 2 or 3 weeks ago in DC. But I might do both.
Okay.
Problems and Contagious. But yeah, I want to do it. I'm trying to do an EP. But I'm so focused on like promoting this song. Like, I really feel like this is like, I gotta get this out. I gotta get this to like the right ear, so they can like help push this. And if not, I guess I'll just be like, I'll be going extra hard for this song, like by myself.
Yeah.
Like, I gotta save up. I gotta do the video. Like, the video is coming very soon.
Okay.
Like, I have a director, and I have an idea for like what I want to do with the video. Like, I just draw my stuff out.
Oh, okay. That's dope.
So I just draw it out and I take it to the director and like, look, can we do this?
Yeah.
All right, cool. Yeah. The difficult part is what I want to do. It's gonna be hard to try to do it. That's the thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, I got that coming up. So the video, the performance, and then I want to start collaborating with some more artists too, especially like in the DMV area, because it's a lot of people who have reached out to me. So gotta give back.
Yeah, definitely do. Definitely do. So let everybody know where they can connect with you on social media, where they can find your music.
So I finally got my Google search set up and it's correct. So just go to Google, put in Vontae, VON space TAE, and then like all of my stuff will pop up, like Twitter at It's Vontae, ITSVONTAE, and then Instagram, the official Vontae, and then I will be premiering the video on my website, so it's gonna be theofficialvontae.com. So all that's gonna be premiering on the website. So
awesome.
I'm excited.
Awesome. Well, I just want to thank you for coming to
Mhm.
Bars and talking about
Thank you.
your music and
Mhm.
particularly Contagious.
Yes.
And I'm going to let you
Mhm.
introduce your blazing hot song.
It's hot.
Yes.
Get your oven mitts. Get your oven mitts and your fire extinguisher. It's about to burn your ears. Especially if you a racist. This is my hot new single, Contagious.
Yes. On the official Hump Day motivation for the DMV and beyond. This is Bars.
How would you feel if you were innocent but sentenced to life? Too many getting killed over stereotypes. How many years we gotta struggle, sick of getting beat down? How many niggas gotta suffer a headshot to the ground? I know the hate that's in your heart, you wanna see niggas fail. You want your ignorance and everything you do to prevail. You want your white skin to be another excuse for your wrongs. Probably thinking shut the fuck up, then you turn off the song. I know your president ain't hesitant to make you feel great, but his belligerence and ignorance is what we can't take. He wants the power and respect for you to stand and applause. There's a reason for the season, so I'm trusting in God. And every black man ain't carrying around a gun. And every black man ain't ran from his son. And every black man wanna speak up for his rights. And every black man has a right to live his life.
How does it feel to be racist? It must be contagious, 'cause the world is gone crazy. How does it feel to be racist? It must be contagious, 'cause the world is gone crazy.
Your face is salty and your heart full of hate. Why can't you take responsibility for the mess that you make? We want you held accountable for everything that you do, instead of trying to put the blame on everybody but you. You wanna use your social status, try to make us feel small. You wanna paint this perfect picture, you ain't Vincent Van Gogh. I wanna see a better future and all my niggas to shine. I want a life without us fearing that one day we gon' die. 'Cause we done been through hell and back and we done been through the pain. Took a couple 100 years just to get out them chains. Trying to build a better future for my niggas to grow. I'm trying to lead a better path and let the whole world know. And every black man ain't carrying around a gun. And every black man ain't ran from his son. And every black man wanna speak up for his rights. And every black man has the right to live his life.
How does it feel to be racist?
How does it feel?
It must be contagious, 'cause the world is gone crazy.
The world's gone crazy.
How does it feel to be racist?
How does it feel?
It must be contagious, 'cause the world is gone crazy.
Hey, come sit down with me, let's talk it out, so I can better understand what you talking about. I want to understand your mental, try to make you reflect. I want the answer to my question, that's with no disrespect. 'Cause I can put my pride aside and I can patiently wait. No, you don't like me, yeah, I see that f***ing smirk on your face. 40 acres in the mule, I'd rather die with respect. I'm sick of brothers dying and mamas carrying around all that stress. I want to show my future kids, they look what daddy did. I'm trying to give a better future than what daddy lived. I want them trigger figures down, I know you hear me loud. I think I said enough, I want to hear you now.
We hope you didn't go too far. It's time for the second hour of the Balancing Act radio show, hosted by AJ Throwback, only on WinDCRadio.com and the WinDC Radio app, powered by GoWin.media.
Yeah. Welcome back. Second hour of the Balancing Act radio show, Bars. Right here with your man AJ Throwback. We still got Vontae in the building. Yeah. We waiting. DJ Anonymous, I seen you call, brother, so you can call right back. I am ready for you. But just shout out to everybody who watching live. Oh, okay. We got some feedback. Got some feedback. Shout out to the Wong host, Seat at the Table podcast. She said yes song.
Hey, thank you.
Yes. She'll be back with another new episode this Sunday, so make sure y'all check out her Instagram. Follow her on Instagram, a seat at the _table. She'll be doing her Sunday sermon this Sunday. Shout out my main man Narcissist. He said, I like the groove of this track. Lyrical content is on point. So
Thank you.
got
Thank
some
you.
good feedback. But I got my second guest calling in. Hold on 1 second, everybody. DJ Anonymous.
Hey, what's going on, man? How you doing?
What's going on, good brother? How you doing?
You good in yourself?
I'm doing wonderful, doing wonderful. You know what I'm saying? Got my man DJ Anonymous calling in from South Florida. You know what I'm saying? We got the DMV and beyond today. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir, man.
Glad to have you on. You know what I'm saying? I was on Sports Biz and Podcast a while ago. You know what I'm saying? Now it's a pleasure to have you on my platform. So welcome to Bars, brother.
Nah, man. Thank you so much for having me on your platform. I remember the last time I've been in, probably like 5-6 years ago. But when you get so used to interviewing so many people, now your job even become more easy because you the one that's being interviewed.
Right.
It's all good.
Right. Yeah. It feels funny when you in the spotlight after shining a light on other people. Trust me, I understand.
Yeah,
I understand.
man.
Yeah. So I wanted to start off like asking you about your your upbringing in terms of, because we kind of, when we had our conversation, you asked me a similar question. So I wanted to kind of ask you, like, who did you, like, coming up, who was, like, that person or those couple of people, like, in terms of DJs and producers that, like, you looked up to and it kind of made you feel like, dang, I want to do that too. You know what I'm saying? I'm interested in doing that.
Oh, man, I can have a long list, but for DJing, one in particular was DJ Drama.
Okay.
Because in my generation, around like I guess like 06, 07, 08. I mean, mixtapes always been around before then, but for me in middle school, going to high school, and into college, like DJ Drama was like that DJ that everyone knew about. And the funny thing about it was I didn't know, because I always thought he was from the South, but he went to school in Atlanta. And I remember he was telling his story about like him and his two of the other DJs, I think DJ Cannon and DJ I forgot the other DJ name, but they had like a little group and like they produced mixtapes, had the little mixtapes thing with other artists on the mixtape, and then they also started hosting mixtapes. And I just started loving his like the way he did it. And like I remember the first mixtape I heard was the I Can't Ban the Snowman when he hosted Jesus mixtape.
Yeah.
And I was just blown away, you know what I'm saying? And then like the dedications, mixtapes with him and Wayne. So Drama was that DJ. Of course, down here I looked up to like DJ Smalls, DJ Ideal, DJ Obscene, and then like other DJs around the world like DJ Envy, DJ Clue. So those was like the DJs that I looked up to. As far as producers, of course, Dr. Dre for the world, just because the fact that not only he produced and he helped break out different artists, but just like he's created like his own empire.
Yeah.
When he discovered Eminem, and like I remember I forgot the name of the show, it was on HBO. I think The Fine Ones. And he was talking about and he was explaining like how he just put the My Name Is beat in front of Eminem, and Eminem just went in. And it just started their relationship from that time. So like Dr. Dre is one, Pharrell, Timberland, coming from, the South, growing up, and now like a lot of people, from Virginia, when it comes to music, some say they rep the South, some say they rep like the more of the East Coast or the Mid East, they want to call it. But growing up, since I was a kid, Pharrell and Timberland always made them beats that was like, it kind of sounded like it had like East Coast vibe, but it still had that down South, vibe. And like those two was like the producers that, for me at the time, coming from my region, was producing songs for like, Missy Elliott, Mystical, for Jay-Z, for all these, big-time artists, So those two in particular, and also you have DJ Khaled. Khaled, he's a DJ too, but I look at him more as a producer. Just how he construct, like he conduct like the whole, like just not even just an album, just one track. Like he have like 3 or 4 different artists, and the song goes well. Like I remember the first song that he had that blew him up was "Holla at Me, Baby." It had Paul Walker, it had Pitbull, it had all them people in that time in their prime.
Love that song.
I was just like, man, like,
yeah.
So those are people that inspired me growing up.
Yeah, and that's a heavy hitter list right there, because most of those people on that list that actually all of them, you know what I'm saying? Like particularly like thinking about like DJ Drama as a DJ, like that whole period of like 05, 06. It was I'm gonna be honest, I felt like it was a little bit of a void for a while. Don't get me wrong, like Indy was holding it down for a while. Clue was, he was still doing his thing, but like right around like 04, 05, 06, like when Drama like really was hitting the scene heavy, like man, he was killing it, and like he had me interested in mixtapes again, because like I kind of had lost interest for a while, but then like the series that he was doing, like what he did with Young Jeezy, what he did with Lil Wayne, I thought that was like really important to kind of sort of revitalize the mixtape game, what I'm saying, really boost it even more than it was boosted before, what I'm saying. So that was definitely like a prime time to like grow up and like admire like the DJ game and the mixtape game. And and you mentioned it also, like Pharrell and Timbaland and like Dre, like those are like guys that I definitely looked up to, at that time too. Me being in college and coming out of college around that time, like, I mean, they were just doing it different, than everybody else.
Yeah, there was like, when it comes to Pharrell and Timbaland, like I seen like a little clip of them. Actually, they was doing I guess like an interview, and they was just telling, complimenting each other, like he made this beat for this person and stuff like that. Just to see them like now, like 20 plus years later, and like usually people would think like, oh, like producers would beef and stuff, or like, but with them it was more like a pure competition. Like it was nothing. It was just a fun competition, which I love to see. We don't have to have no beef and stuff like that, no negativity. It's a lot of positivity in work, but with Drama, I looked up to him so much because he really like because the South had his run like in the 90s and early 2000s, and after the crunk music, we kind of had like a dead season. So he was the one that like brought back or discovered some new artists and stuff like that, with the Jeezys, with the T.I.s. I feel like he helped T.I. Even though T.I. was out, I feel like he helped T.I. become more on the map, so that's what it is.
Yeah, and I mean it makes sense, because I mean Drama was on, I think he was like maybe the official Grand Hustle DJ, if I'm not mistaken. Like I know he was like affiliated with Grand Hustle for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean like T.I. was smart in like linking up with Drama especially during that period, because it really did help his career take off even more. Because I mean the thing is, and I think this is one of the questions, or one of the things I kind of want to say. I guess it's kind of a question, but like, how do you feel like the DJ in this day and age? Because a lot of times, how the game has gone is they try to kind of sort of take it out of the DJ's hands, in terms of like the DJ still having like the pulse, or being able to feel the pulse of like the game. Like, how do you feel like the role of the DJ has changed, and in terms of like what it is now versus what it was before, and really the importance still of the DJ in this day and age in terms of breaking records?
Right. So with me, I was lucky enough to be in that generation where I was in between the ones before me that had the crates like yourself, y'all, had to pick up the crates and everything, and then I was in between the younger generation where all they had to do was get an iPad and play some music. You know, that's the thing nowadays.
Right.
But with me, it's like the void, honestly. Like, I spoke to a couple of DJs that was on my podcast. I was telling them, like, you know, it's not really fun no more, like, because in my generation, you know, it was still, you still had to get the songs, like, either you had to try to, you know, get it from somebody else or the actual artist. So when you want to email, when you want to get an artist email and stuff, because, you know, I grew up around the MySpace days. That was like the social media before social media. So you still had to do somewhat groundwork. You know, it was much more easier than actually going to, like, the artists and stuff like y'all did back in the day. But it was still a lot of work, you know what I'm saying? Like, I still have the remembrance of, you know, carrying my own speakers and everything, had to set up my stuff myself, you know, so yeah, I mean, that was kind of the void. A lot of them said, like, especially with streaming nowadays, it's like, it kind of takes away the DJ a little bit, but still at the same time, artists still need DJs. They still need, you have the radio DJ like yourself, you have the club DJs, you have the DJs that be at the festival. You know, festivals blowing up right now. So artists still need DJs to blow up, you know, their songs, you know, just to give their songs some more promotion and things like that.
Yeah, I definitely agree. In fact, one of our DJs up here that's really well known in the area and beyond, DJ Dirty Rico. That was one of his things. Like, he actually was trying to plan like a party where it was nothing, like there were no bands, no artists, like it's just the DJs. They are the stars of the show. You know what I'm saying? Just spinning and like playing like all the songs that's like going to really get people hyped. Because the thing is about DJing, it really is an art to it. And a lot of people have kind of sort of forsaken the art of doing it, and they don't realize that it really is like being able to feel the pulse of the crowd, especially like if you're doing a party or if you're doing a club, or if you're like, even if you're like a mixed DJ on the air, you know what I'm saying? Like, you really have to like have like a tight set, and sometimes like go out of that set. Sometimes like there's certain songs you want to play that's like, okay, the crowd ain't necessarily, this ain't that crowd for that. You know what I'm saying? So it really is an art, and it's a lost art in a lot of ways. And unfortunately, like, yeah, in this day and age, it's not really as appreciated, but the DJ still is an important part of really records breaking in terms of, you know what I'm saying, people like getting it in their hands. Because, you know, there are certain platforms, I can't say certain ones because I know my wife is listening, so I can't necessarily put one particular platform out there. But it's a platform, it's kind of like one of these secret little societies, so to say, where that's where she finds out about a lot of new music. Like, it's certain stuff that's on radio now that she's heard it like a year ago, because some DJ in this particular, you know, platform broke it already a year ago. You know what I'm saying? And that just goes to show you that it's like it's still an important, the DJ is still important. It's just because of the technology changing and especially with like the accessibility of music, just it's so much easier now. A lot of times, like it does reduce like the I don't want to say the role, but it kind of takes a little bit of the fire out of the DJ. Or like you said, it doesn't make it as fun, you know, when people already know about it versus like it's an exclusive to you and it's like, man, I can't wait to break this record, you know.
Yeah, I think what it is too, what kind of, remember doing like I guess like late 2000s, you know, early 2010s, like people used to steal music and stuff. And one thing that music streaming, one of the positive things that it did, like streaming in this era when it comes to streaming, is that if you're not a DJ, if you pretty much you're not in the industry and you have like the connect to get the song like a year or two Because people don't realize songs are made years before it comes out. So that's another. I'm glad you brought that up. But the streaming industry, the streaming era, really, it kind of put a stop to that. Where people used to link their mixtapes, used to link their album out before the actual album come out. So it wasn't that the element of surprise. So think about it now. Let's say, I'm just putting it out there. Let's say T.I. come out with a banger with like Eve and like Pastor Troy. I'm just throwing out names, Trick Daddy and like Wale or some random stuff, but it's a good track.
Right.
As a DJ, I can still do that now because they're like, people can't really steal music no more at all because they got iTunes, they got Spotify, they got Tidal, they got all these, streaming apps where they feel like they don't have to even do that no more.
Right.
So it's still that element of surprise, especially in 2019 and beyond.
Yeah, it's priceless. Definitely gotta still have that, because that's the only thing that's really gonna make what we do fun.
Yeah, because that's why a lot of artists, some artists to this day, they still appreciate the DJ because of that. Even like consumers, fans of the DJs, they still love it because they know, like, wow, like this DJ, he got all the exclusive stuff. Like, for example, a local DJ called DJ Meat down here from Miami. He always get the exclusive stuff. Always, like, he's one of them DJs that get the stuff like beforehand, and like he still plays in the strip clubs and he got his own radio station and everything. So it's like it's still like that element of surprise, and like that's how you get so many fans and so many other artists to come on, producers to come on your team and support you and stuff like that. So it's a beautiful thing.
What was I going to ask you? So, talk about your first experience DJing. Like, what was that like for you, versus like where you are now as a DJ?
Oh, when I started DJing, I think 07, I was more like a mixtape DJ at the time. So like, like I said, I used MySpace and stuff, like just to network with different artists and stuff, put mixtapes together. But when I started my first time like DJing a live event, I was kind of nervous, but then after a while, like one of the DJs was telling me like, you just gotta know the crowd and everything. I started doing that. So yeah, like from 27, so like probably from like 15 to like 23, cause I kind of took a break in between. I was just networking, hustling, trying to do like some the baby showers, the parties, some strip clubs and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But it was kind of hard because, one thing that I tell some of these younger DJs and just even artists in general, you have to be careful when it comes to like doing work with promoters, because promoters are very janky. And like I remember, I did, yeah, they are. Not all of them, but like I could say it's probably like 80% of them, and like 20% are the ones that's loyal. But I was working with a promoter, and we was working at got one of my first big gigs at a strip club and stuff. And it was cool and everything, but it was like 4 DJs, and we didn't really get paid like that.
Wow.
So I was just like, you know what, I'm gonna take a hiatus and like just, step away from DJing.
Yeah.
But now, I guess I was like 23, 24 around the time. Like I started doing mixtapes again, whatever. But I started like trying to be more business, with it. Like try to like manage artists a little bit. Just build, different relationships with different artists. Shout out to Valona Denise. She's one of the most like loyal artists I ever worked with. She's from New Jersey, from Newark, New Jersey. Don't beat me up, but me and her actually met over Instagram.
Okay.
And to this day, like we just talking about like, everything. Like I remember I went to LA with her last year, and we were just trying to, get her music out to the different labels and everything. And like, to this day, like it's like verses from when I was 15 to 23, but now I'm like, 24, 25, 26, 27. It's been more of a business, and also I have a podcast, that she's been on. So, I mean, it's to me, I'm more versatile now than I was before.
Yeah.
Because before I was just focused on the music. Now I'm versatile, like doing the business, the marketing, media. I'm not closed-minded like I was when I was younger.
And it's funny that we still got Vontae sitting here with us, and one of the things that we were talking about was growth. You know what I'm saying, in terms of and the thing is, when you're in this business long enough, like you don't want to stay stuck doing just one thing, because then you pigeonhole yourself to just that one thing. But you also don't want to stay in the same area. Like even if you're doing one thing, you want to elevate with that one thing, which will probably open up opportunities for more things, because your focus is constant elevation. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So the fact that like you start off one way, and now you have like all of these different avenues that you're affecting, with your talents. I mean, it definitely speaks volumes.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I was just about to say, like, like artists like Vontae, like, like as a DJ, like I appreciate like an artist from like an artist like himself is still like wanting to like have interviews, with local radio stations and podcasts and like internet radio and stuff like that, because some artists, they feel like you don't have to do that no more because of social media, but they don't understand, like, that's how you make a name for yourself. You don't just make a song one day to blow up. It may happen, but you still have to do that groundwork. Like at the end of the day, you still have to do these interviews, these press, and everything.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. Can I interject for a
second?
second?
Yeah, absolutely. Go right ahead.
So, I had a couple of friends who actually told me, they were like, well, why are you going to these places? They're not paying you. Why are you? Because I went to Atlanta, and I drove to Atlanta for like something like similar to this, and they just like was super curious as to why I would just drive to Atlanta and come straight back.
Yeah.
They were like, it's not Hot 97. It's not. I was like, but you gotta put in the work.
Exactly.
Like you gotta do like the little stuff before you can get to that level. You can't just out of the blue drop a song, it got a little fire underneath of it, and you think that you Jay-Z. Like even Jay-Z was selling stuff out of his trunk, out of his car. So you gotta start.
Yeah, you gotta start somewhere.
Start small.
Absolutely. What you
like
you do it a lot.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, like even like it's still people to this day that they still like sell CDs from their trunk, and it's 2019. I'm like, you can put it on social media, you can put it on iTunes, but it's still some consumers, still some fans that like the old school way. Like I feel like from people that was born like 70s, 80s, and 90s, like early 90s, like myself, like us, like we still appreciate the hard copy. We still talk about it to this day. Like you remember when you had the mixtapes of the CDs, and it had the cover, then in the back it had like the track list, produced and everything. Like you still appreciate that. So, but for your friends to say that, like they don't understand that, like at the end of the day, you're an entrepreneur. Right. So you have to do the groundwork. You have to do everything. Like people outside that's not in your shoes, probably like, why this man doing this and doing that? Like it's 2019. Like he got all this stuff that he can do just from a palm from his phone. Cause the phone is powerful. Don't get me wrong, but it's still good to go face to face with people and just interact, because you never know who's gonna be there at that moment.
Yeah, absolutely. And as we were talking, I instantly thought of a quote that and we were talking about this earlier, Vontae. Mo Better. He had a quote. I think it was Monday. He said the way to boost your online presence is to increase your offline presence. You know, and that involves like getting out there and doing the groundwork, like you said. You know, hit the ground. You know, because the thing is, whether you're a DJ, whether you're an artist, you know what I'm saying, whether you're a producer, like people have to be able to reach out and, you know, touch you. You know what I'm saying? Not on some creepy, you know, stuff.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But, you know, like, but just be able to say, hey, I've seen you such and such place. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know that guy. You know what I'm saying? Like, I actually seen him out in public. I seen him at this party. Or I seen him at this function.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I think that's how you really build trust, you know what I'm saying, from people, especially like you, DJ Anonymous, being a DJ. Like, that's important, like having that trust of people to get to that point where people feel comfortable with you helping them along in their career, to kind of sort of help them to push stuff to labels and to you know, do certain groundwork that a lot of times, like frankly a lot of DJs in this day and age won't do. But you know, not only the artists don't want to do certain groundwork, but certain DJs don't want to do certain groundwork, and it's important because it's like it's everybody, you know, playing their part to really help the next person, because that's what we do, you know, as DJs. We're what's the word? We're conduits. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like we're intercessories almost, you know, and so like it's really important job like that everybody does their job and realize like, hey, there's certain grunt work I got to do. I just got to do it. You know.
I consider like us DJs to be like the chaperones in a way. I don't want to say like the parent or whatever, because we all grown.
That's an interesting term,
but like,
chaperone.
We like the chaperones. Yeah, we like the chaperones of the, you know, with the artists. So like before we go into the gates, like, you know, the gatekeepers of hip hop or whatever. Like we the ones that help guide and stuff like that. But one thing, to go back to the groundwork, like I remember when me and Valona, like, think about it, like I'm from Miami, Florida, she's from Jersey. We flew to LA, you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So like, people don't realize the relationship that you have to have with the artist as a DJ and the artist that you have to have a relationship with your DJ is like, it's like a marriage pretty much. Like you have to like for example, like what I'm trying to say is like, all right, like during that whole time, that 2 days when we was doing the groundwork and everything, our relationship, like musically wise and like business wise, like it went up. Like I knew she gained a lot of trust from me, and I gained a lot of trust from her, because as a DJ, you want to see an artist, you know, do the groundwork and do like 50% of the things that they have to do. Because my job as a DJ, especially nowadays, is not just playing the song and promoting it. It's also like, you know, networking with different executives, you know, networking with different people who run like different clubs or like, you know, festivals and stuff like that, just to tell them like, hey, I got this artist, you know, he or she trying to blow up and stuff like that, or he or she has an album that's out, you're looking for, you know, to do performances and stuff like that. So I feel like, you know, I guess the thing for the past few years was it was a lot of pride between the DJs and the artists, but they gotta understand that at the end of the day, that we each put the 50% work in our craft, like we both could blow up. So like look at, like I talked about Khaled, like look at him, like he was, a lot of people didn't know he was working with Fat Joe, and look how both of their careers went. Like Fat Joe, to me, he don't have to rap no more. He's in like movies and stuff now, and like a producer now. Khaled, you know, he's doing his thing with music, but he's more of a producer now. Like he's more in the seat. Like I think he's one of the head people at Epic now. So you just never know what can happen.
Yeah, absolutely. So It's all about relationships at the end of the day, you know. Speaking of relationships, one of the things that's one of the things I wanted to ask you regarding Sports Biz and Music Podcast, which is first and foremost, let me put it out there to the people. If y'all have not checked out Sports Biz and Music Podcast, y'all are doing yourselves a disservice. Check it out ASAP. My man DJ Anonymous has great guests, and that's the thing that I wanted to ask you about, bro. Like, how do you procure some of the guests that you get on the show? Like you had, who was it? Was it Elisa Reyes that you had on the show?
Yeah,
before?
Lisa Reyes from all that.
Yeah. Like that was that. When I saw that, I was like, wow, like that's a major get right there. You know what I'm saying? Like, how do you and you from the conversation, it sounded like y'all had a pretty decent relationship in terms of like y'all knowing each other, well enough. Like how do you like does a lot of that come from just DJing and being around and about and everything?
Well, I tell people all the time, like DJing, I love DJing. I love it. Like that would always be my first love. But I always felt like now it's especially on social media, especially on the internet, I should be go check out my mixtape and stuff like that. I didn't really get a heavy response. So I'm sorry. I'm kind of I like to go in depth. That's not I'm gonna ask you a question. But, the reason why I even started doing the podcasting thing was because I started noticing that my wife, my best friends, my mom and them, my family, they started noticing that, the more I had started opening up, because, I'm a Capricorn, I was always a quiet person like that. I started noticing that, I have great in-depth conversations with different people. So I was just let me create a platform where, it's still going to promote myself, but it'll promote other people that come on the show and also the listeners, because my listeners range from 16 to 35, so that's young. So it's just, and during that age, there's still a lot of people that's either trying to figure out what they want to do with themselves, or they probably in a career where they could, retire early, before they 40 years old, and they trying to figure out what career they want to do, or it's younger, it's 16, 17, 18-year-olds that's still in high school or early college that's, wanting to know different careers so they could pick one, so. But I tell people all the time, with people like Lisa Reyes and all the people that have on the show like yourself, I just wrote a little, the little thing, a little introduction and stuff, because I was taught that. And I just reached out, and when I reached out to her in particular, I was starstruck that she even responded, because I love my wife and stuff like that. But my wife, she knows, but I had a crush on her when I was younger. From all that,
Nah,
some of my boys didn't even believe it. I had a crush for her, so but I ain't say it, but I did. But when she cool though. What I learned about these celebrities and these millionaires and stuff like that, they like us. We are regular people at the end of the day. So when I reached out to people like her, we exchanged each other information and stuff. She was very open with it, and even before I started recording, I was kind of nervous and stuff. But, to this day, I still get nervous. I believe me and you talked about it as well on our episode.
Yeah.
Interviewing people, it's a nerve-wracking thing, but at the end of the day, that means that you really care about your craft. That's with anything that you do.
Right.
So Vontae, I'm pretty sure before you get in front of hundreds of people and stuff, you still get that butterfly, no matter what venue you in. So
all the time.
So yeah, I just tell people straight up, I DM people out, probably like 5 to 10, maybe 12 people a day, and then I had to tell my wife, and like I was telling her, like sometimes I get overwhelmed because I was kind of surprised that a lot of people reached out to me about, oh, I want to be on your podcast and stuff and this and that. So I mean, that's the secret. Like my best friend, he be asking me like, damn, bro, like how do you have people on your show? Like how do you do it? I said I just DM them. Because that goes back to one of the positive things about social media. Like literally anybody is literally a text away. So I was like, you know what? Let me take advantage of that. So
That's real talk right there. That's real talk.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and you gotta. I mean, it's really a message to people. Like you really gotta shoot your shot sometimes. Like it'll be some people that may not respond. Like I can't tell you how many times like I reach out to artists or whatever to not even necessarily for interviews, but for like their music. And there's a lot of times I won't get a response. But the people that do respond, it's like those are the ones I end up building relationships with, and you know. Or the people who send me music, like you, Vontae, you know what I'm saying? Like you shot your shot, you know what I'm saying? And you too, bro. Like when you reached out to me for our interview, you know, when I was on your podcast, like you shot your shot, and I was like, okay, like I felt honored because I was like, wow, somebody wants to interview me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, like my mom always tells me like, I come from a spiritual family. And like what my mom always tells me is like the people that's in your life, they're in your life for a reason. You know, like the people that you couldn't, you know, get in contact with, it was a reason why. Because either not just by bad stuff, but it may not, you may not have gotten something that you needed for yourself. You know, because at the end of the day, we all need resources. So like. Number one thing that we always taught since we was in school was you got the network. You know, that was the number one thing. So like even people that, you know, that you don't even have the opportunity to speak with, maybe it wasn't that time. You know, maybe 6 months, 5 years from now, like they'll probably hit you back up and be like, you know what? I remember you did hit me up and stuff. We should work, you know. So
yeah.
I mean it's a lot that's into it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I reached out to because one of the record labels that I really want to get signed to is Rostrum.
Rostrum, okay.
So like for a couple of years I've been trying. I was like, all right, I give up. And then I was like, let me try it one more time. And when I tried it that one more time, like I got in contact with Benji, the owner of it.
Okay.
And the founder. And like we write back and forth like every once in a while. Like I try not to be so I don't try to be pushy. I don't say listen to this.
Yeah.
But I'll slide him like something and then he'll give me feedback on it. He's like, I think you should add this or do this. I'm like, dang, he actually talking to me?
Yeah.
I couldn't even believe it. It was like if I had never even tried, it probably never heard from him.
Yeah.
So you gotta try.
Yeah, absolutely. That's,
you know,
shoot your shot.
Yeah, you know what they say? Yeah, they say closed mouths don't get fed.
There you go.
So that's the thing we say downhill. You know, so.
That's right.
But it's the truth.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. Absolutely. So I'm gonna ask you a question that you always ask everybody on your podcast. So where do you see yourself in 5 to 10 years? With all of what you
5 to 10 years?
Yeah.
Well, I'll be in my 30s. Every time I ask a question, especially to like the younger folks, I'm like, "Why y'all still gonna be in my 20s?" But I'm gonna do 5 years. 5 years from now, because I'm working on me and my wife. We working on a doctorate right now, so
okay.
I would want to have my doctorate by the time I'm 30, 31, 32, at least have a couple kids, because I want to have a big family, at least have a couple kids.
That's what's up.
And also, I hope the podcast, you know, go to another level. You know, as far as like maybe one day go to like satellite radio, 'cause that's something I've been trying to get into. And like just 10 years from now, you know, I want to have like everything I want to do as far as like real estate, marketing, management. Like I want to have like so many like businesses just running, and also like my investments, because I started investing a little by little since I was like 27, probably like 25ish. So like hopefully like 10 years from now, I become like a millionaire just off my investments alone. So. And of course, you know, just living a great life, you know, with family, with my career, and just, you know, be healthy, you know, spiritually, mentally, physically. You know, so.
Yeah, that's the absolute key. You know what I'm saying? You can't do any of the things that you want to do if you ain't got
right.
the good health of mind, body, and soul. You know.
Right, because you know, I thought people was lying about, you know, being over 25. It kind of, that's when you start learning that your body, you have to like keep up with your body a little bit more.
Yes, you do.
And now I just started try to work out every day and stuff like that. Cause true, like I'm like, damn, like I remember when I was 25 years old, 23, 22 years old, and I'm still young, but I have to get into a point in my life where I'm gonna be 30 soon. I'll be 40 in about 12 years, and I'll be 50. Like it's not that long away. Like when I was 15 years old, I'm like, man, I'm forever and stuff. And when I turn 25, I'm like, okay, I'm getting older, but now I'm 27, about to be 28 next year. Like, I'm like, all right, I gotta get everything. I gotta continue to get everything in order with my health and everything. And, with everything around me and stuff like that. Because it's about stability. We all want stability at the end of the day.
Because once you start having those kids, you're going to be counting their age.
Right.
And then you're going to forget about your age. You're going to be like, wait, I'm turning 60?
Right.
No bull. Yeah, because it's just weird, like, you know, when you, because I work with kids as well, like, from, like, the ages of, like, I could say, like, 6 and, like, 15. And like just it's so weird like how the generation really different. Like I remember growing up, like a lot of the 80 babies, 70 babies, they should be like, y'all different. But then as I get older, and like I look at the late 90s and 2000 babies, 22. Now I see what the 70s and the 80 babies was talking about. Like it's it's a lot, man.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, so let everybody know where they can connect with you on social media and where they can find episodes of Sports Biz and Music Podcast.
Okay, social media, Instagram, Twitter, and I believe Snapchat is DJ Anonymous DRG or DJ Anonymous DRG 305. The Sports Biz Music Podcast, actually just put out a website. It's called sportsbizmusic.com. But also you could listen to the podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, everywhere that has podcasting. And yeah, that's pretty much it.
Okay, all right, and yeah, ladies and gentlemen, make sure y'all check out his last episode, Become a Threat. That was a really, really good episode right there. Like if people didn't know really a lot about Miami and like the culture, deeper than what we see on TV. Like if y'all don't know it, if y'all don't know about the real Miami, listen to that Become a Threat episode. That was a really good episode, bro.
I'm glad you brought that up because we even spoke about it on our show that we were talking about Miami and DC. And like the whole Southern thing and everything, and it's true. Like when out of towners come down here to Miami, they think of it as, oh, it's the beach, it's the city and everything, like blah blah blah. But they don't understand, like it's so many communities down here, especially, you know, black communities down here. 'Cause I have people that always complain about like, oh, it's not a lot of us down here in terms of like African Americans. But I'm like, look at the communities that we have, like Dade County alone. We have Overtown, we have the Porker Beans, we have Liberty City, we have I think I already said Overtown, you have Goulds, you have Florida City, you have Opalaka, you have all these communities down here. Just Miami alone, just think about throughout Florida, like, and so many black communities down here. It's just that I feel like it's a stigma between some of us black folks down here, because a lot of people don't know that, you know, Florida was segregated like just like every other like southern state or every state in general. So I was like, cause remember I wanted to go to the African American Museum up in DC, and I was like, everyone that told me about it, I was like, man, like I wish we had one down south, like down here in Florida and in Miami. And I was like, I want to create one because I didn't even know that we had one, and it was about to close down soon. So I was like, you know what? One day, like I want to create like an African American, you know, it talks about like, of course, like everything historic with African Americans, you know, of course, since like slavery days and stuff like that, even before then, because a lot of people don't realize that it was black folks, you know, in France and like all these other countries, but also just to learn that it's a lot of African American history down here in Miami, especially like people don't realize that 40% of Miami was built off the Bahamians. You know, shout out to the Cubans and stuff like that. I love y'all. Most of y'all, not all of y'all. Some of y'all put it from. A lot of people don't know that like the historical Wynwood, you know, that was the Puerto Rican spot. The Puerto Ricans, they built that neighborhood until like people came over and stuff and took it away. So there's so much history down here in Miami where I'm trying to just like continue to network with people down here and just like create something, because I just get kind of frustrated, and I'm glad I'm not the only person alone that we do have a lot of history from us. It's just that a lot of people don't want to do the groundwork, the research. You know, they just want to look at the stats and be like, oh, it's only 17% of us here and stuff like that, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, come on, man.
Right.
Like if a Cuban, like it's real, like if a Cuban come up to me and tell me like, you know, like I understand because, you know, I have African heritage, you know, behind me, like Dominicans, like people understand it's most Hispanics, they do acknowledge that, you know, they came from Africa. You know, some don't, but they don't realize they do. But the ones that I met, they acknowledge that. So it's just like, come on, man, like let's just make this happen, especially for Miami, like, cause we need it.
Right. Exactly. All right, so I just want to thank you so much for this interview. I mean, it's very layered. You know what I'm saying? Talked about a lot in this interview, so I appreciate you calling in, bro. And we definitely got to do this again, man, because, I mean, we could we could talk for days about a lot of this stuff, man. You know, so I appreciate you. I appreciate you calling in and being on bars, man.
No, man, thank you for, you know, for having me on the show. Like, can I do a quick shout out before you let me go?
Absolutely. Go right ahead.
I want to shout out my mom. You know, first I want to shout out God. You know, I want to shout out my mom, my wife, my best friend, my spiritual family, like just everyone, all the people that I had on the show, you know, like yourself, you know, all like my clients and future clients, whatnot. You know, shout out to you. You know, shout out to the whole Bars on L family. Shout out to Vontae. You know, I see that you gonna progress in your career, man. So
Thank you. Same to you.
Keep going and don't listen to the outsiders. Just keep going and just block the noise. That's what I always say.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Right. Absolutely. So I'm gonna let you go ahead and introduce the song that you sent to me from, you talked about it earlier, Valona Denise.
Yeah. Yeah, this is my girl, Valona Denise from New Jersey. This new single called Rewind. And, yeah, we're trying to make it big. Right now, it's like ranked 13th in Philadelphia right now, one of the stations.
That's what's up.
So we just trying to push it.
All right. We gonna help in that push. You know what I'm saying? It's the DMV and beyond. You know what I'm saying? So
Exactly.
Yeah. So we be talking soon, bro.
All right, man.
All right, now take care.
All right.
All right, y'all. Official Hump Day motivation for the DMV and beyond. This is Bars.
Yeah.
Banging ass promise.
Yeah. Come be one and only and pop that boy. Nigga, I got ones on me. Yeah, I be getting to the guap. I got some buns on me. I got some problems at the crib, but that's just TMI. Girl, I just need some time and be my one and only and pop that boy. Nigga, I got ones on me. Yeah, I be getting to the guap. I got some buns on me. I got some problems at the crib, but that's just TMI. Girl, I just need some time.
Rewind, oh. Back it up. Rewind, oh. Get your dollars out it up. Rewind, oh. You don't give a rewind, oh. So bust it down for rewind, oh. Back it up. Rewind, oh. Get your dollars out it up. Rewind, oh. You don't give a rewind, oh. So bust it down for me. What's your name, baby? Get your number, let it. Give me smoke, drink, can't rewind it. Pop it like left it out of style. Heard I'm in the town, only for one night. But I get you right. Bust it, don't you slow it down. Bust it, don't you slow it down. Heard I'm in the town, only for one night. But I get you right.
Come be my one and only and pop that boy. Nigga, I got ones on me. Yeah, I be getting to the block. I got some buns on me. I got some problems at the crib, but that's just TMI. Girl, I just need some time and be my one and only and pop that boy. Nigga, I got ones on me. Yeah, I be getting to the block. I got some buns on me. I got some problems at the crib, but that's just TMI. Girl, I just need some time.
Rewind, oh. Back it up. Rewind, oh. Get your dollars out it up. Rewind, oh. You don't give a rewind, oh. So bust it down for rewind, oh. Back it up. Rewind, oh. Get your dollars out it up. Rewind, oh. You don't give a rewind, oh. So bust it down for me.
I got the world in my back and got your girl in my lap. I got a nervous to tell you we've been conversing, even if the deal was harmless and fat. Cause she's in love with my soul and there's no guard against that. I gotta burn her with lust. She probably told you that she met me and she had to get an autograph, but all I remember was signing curves with my touch. It's just the world in a shell, such a beautiful way. I know you through it today. I got a flight tonight. Come be my one and only and pop that boy. Nigga, I got ones on me. Yeah, I be getting to the block. I got some buns on me. I got some problems at the crib, but that's just TMI. Girl, I just need some time and be my one and only and pop that boy. Nigga, I got ones on me. Yeah, I be getting to the block. I got some buns on me. I got some problems at the crib, but that's just TMI. Girl, I just need some time. Yeah.
Back it up. Rewind, oh. Get your dollars out it up. Rewind, oh. You don't give a rewind, oh. So bust it down for rewind, oh. Back it up. Rewind, oh. Get your dollars out it up. Rewind, oh. You don't give a rewind, oh. So bust it down for me.
It's time to get back to AJ Throwback and Bars, only on WinDCRadio.com and the WinDC Radio app, powered by GoWin.media.
Yeah. Once again, that was Valona Denise with Rewind. Shout out once again to DJ Anonymous for providing that track to us. You know what I'm saying? I was just telling Vontae, this show went real fast. You know what I'm saying? There was a lot going on. You know what I'm saying? Next thing you know, it's almost 1 o'clock. So we running a little short on time. I still want to make sure I get my birthday shout outs to people. Shout out to the Geminis out there. Melanie celebrating a birthday tomorrow. Shauna, Valina, Alicia Dub Jones, wife of Derek Jones of Card Logic, which comes on tonight, 8 p.m. Facebook Live, YouTube Live, Periscope. Make sure y'all check that out. And my main man Gabe celebrating birthdays on Friday. My Uncle Ricky Noir, who we had on the show back in November, and my Reverend for Life, Reverend Motley, celebrating birthdays on Saturday. My main man Brucey celebrating a birthday on Sunday. My best friend in the whole wide world, Country, my brother. Also Scene Set and Beezy. Nalicia and my main man Nick Mims, they celebrating birthdays on Memorial Day on Monday. Also, shout out to Beezy. He's having a party at Fast Eddie's. I think it's in Camp Springs. It should be like a really nice birthday bash. Red S is supposed to be there, TCG supposed to be there. So make sure y'all go on. I think it's on OTG on their Instagram page, OTG_202. Go on their Instagram page, and yeah, they doing a birthday bash for BZ on, I think it's Friday. I want to say from 10 to 3 a.m. It may be early, but check their page there. They have all the details on it and everything. I wanted to get to the luncheon with the missus, but I'm going to do a real quick shout out to my wife. My wife is graduating from CNA school tomorrow. Baby, I am proud of you for your grind. Got this certification out the way. You know, next is, nursing, you know what I'm saying? Like, tackling that monster. You are doing a wonderful job. You'll find one of your passions in life. And I appreciate what you're doing, and I celebrate you, and I congratulate you. This is not an easy road. Not an easy road whatsoever. Like, getting up early every day to go to school, take our son to Parkville, and then, go to the class, and then come back and all that. Yeah, she's been tired.
Congratulations.
You know what I'm saying? So, she got a graduation tomorrow, so we'll be going there tomorrow. So I just had to make sure I shout out my missus. And before we close out, a legend just, if he was alive, he would have celebrated a birthday on Sunday. I believe it was Sunday. But the late, great Malcolm X had a birthday on Sunday. And so it's only right that we have this right here.
Words of wisdom to get you through the rest of your week. These are the bars for life.
All right, so, of course, it's a Malcolm X quote. He says, I believe in the brotherhood of all men, but I don't believe in wasting brotherhood on anyone who doesn't want to practice it with. Brotherhood is a two-way street. And, you could look at it beyond brotherhood. You could just look at it in terms of, like, relationships. Yep. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you're sold out for a particular struggle, or you're in a particular movement together, and you have people that are working against you that look like you, especially people who look like you. Right. You know what I'm saying? It's like, look, I want to be your brother, or whatever, or if it's a woman to woman thing, like, I want to be your sister, but if you're not sold out in this fight with me, then I can't do nothing. I can't do nothing for you. Right. And you can't really do anything for me. Right. And like thinking about like a lot of the things that we talked about today, you know what I'm saying, in your interview, Vontae, and even in the interview with DJ Anonymous, like that's a very important thing. Like we all have to realize that we have to work together, and we have to have that same goal of wanting to work together. It's a desire to want to work with other people. It's a desire to want to help other people out other than yourself. Right.
Can't be selfish all the time.
Exactly. Can't not all the time. Don't be selfish your whole life.
You're gonna need somebody one day.
Exactly.
Don't burn all your bridges.
That's right. Make sure y'all keep tuning in later today for DMV Culture Club, 6 to 8 p.m. and Grind Season Radio, 8 to 10 p.m. right here on WinDCRadio.com, the WinDC Radio app. Many of these shows available on Facebook Live and YouTube Live. And of course, it's all powered by GoWin.media. Once again, I would like to thank my special guest, Fonte, for coming in the studio. And thanks again again to DJ Anonymous for calling in from Miami, Florida. You know what I'm saying? Representing the DMV and beyond.
Right. Shout out to him.
Yes, absolutely. So, yeah, make sure y'all tune in next week. We got another double play next week. Ashley Robinson of the DMV Network will be promoting the Taste of DMV, which is supposed to be happening at Iverson Mall, right here at Iverson Mall next Saturday. So we'll be talking to, June 1st. I had to think about the date. So June 1st. So she'll be talking to her. We'll be talking to her about that. And we're also supposed to have one of our producers of the week. She'll be coming in, Henri Latil. We'll be talking to her in the 12 o'clock hour. So Ashley Robinson, 11:15. Henri Latil at 12 o'clock. So make sure y'all tune in to the official Hump Day Motivation for the DMV and beyond next week. Y'all have a wonderful, fantastic rest of your week. We're going to close out with Tia Day with Bring Out the Love. And enjoy your weekend. Oh, it's a long weekend for a lot of us. Memorial Day weekend. Man, invite me to a cookout. I need a hot dog or something.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Hamburger.
Burn
cheese.
Hot dog to be specific.
Yeah, please. Please burn it.
Absolutely. So y'all enjoy the rest of y'all week, and we'll see y'all next week. Peace, y'all.
We got, bring out the love. We got, bring out the love. Bring out the love. We got, bring out the love. We got. I've got this feeling deep inside of me. I wish the whole world could feel just what I am feeling. I can't deny the way you feel. In fact, I wish it with the whole world that endless inspiration. I wanna help to heal the world by evoking these good feelings. 'Cause giving is the art of entertaining. To bring out the love. We got. We got. Bring out the love. We got. We got. Bring out the love. Do you wanna go with me on this endless journey? Do you wanna feel the beats, the best feeling in your life? Because I have all this up inside. Let me know how you wanna ride for real. 'Cause this love's for real. Because I have all this love inside. I wanna share with you, baby, if you wanna ride for real. 'Cause this love's for real. Bring out the love. We got. We got. Bring out the love. We got. We got. Bring out the
And that's it.
I did it.
Mommy did it?
Yes. I do it.
Oh.
Want to say the bars?
You want to do bars?
Bars.